Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are plunging headfirst into a skill that is, well, absolutely essential for every child growing up in today's world. We're talking media literacy, especially now, with this landscape of AI, deepfakes, just this endless stream of online content.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
It really is. It makes it incredibly challenging to figure out what's true, what's fake, or what's just trying to grab their attention, maybe worse, manipulate them.
Precisely. And our mission today really is to pull out the key insights from our sources. We want to help you, our listener, understand how we as parents, as guardians, can effectively guide kids. Help them think critically, ask the right questions, make sense of all that digital noise.
Right. It's about empowering them.
Yes. Empowering them, not overwhelming them. They need to be discerning navigators, not just passive consumers.
Okay, so let's unpack this urgent need. Our sources paint a picture that's, frankly, staggering. Children seeing thousands of images, videos, messages every single day.
It's a constant barrage.
Yeah.
Just think about that volume.
And often designed to capture attention, influence thoughts, or let's be honest, just get their screen time.
And here's where it gets really interesting, and maybe a bit concerning. With these advanced AI tools now, anyone, literally anyone, can create content that looks incredibly real.
But it's completely fake.
Exactly. We're not just talking Photoshop anymore. We're talking sophisticated deepfakes.
Explain that a bit more, deepfakes.
Right. So these are like hyper-realistic fake videos or audio. AI generates them to make it look or sound like someone said or did something they absolutely never did. Plus AI voices, entire virtual scenes. It really blurs the lines between what's real and what's, well, manufactured.
Wow.
So without proper guidance, kids are very susceptible. They might believe everything they see, hear, read online.
And that's not just about, random misinformation, is it?
No, it goes deeper. It's about shaping their entire worldview, sometimes before they even have the tools to question any of it.
So what does this mean for them, practically? I know the sources had a good example.
They did, a really compelling one.
Yeah, imagine a child scrolling social media, sees a seemingly perfect photo of a celebrity.
Right. Flawless. Unrealistic.
If they don't have that media literacy lens, what happens?
Well, they might instantly compare themselves, feel inadequate. Maybe their self-esteem takes a hit. They just accept that polished image as, the standard. Oof.
Yeah.
But with media literacy, you empower them to pause, to ask those crucial questions.
Was this edited?
Exactly. Or is this even real? Maybe what filters were used here? Or even was AI involved?
That simple question changes everything.
It does. That moment of critical thought totally changes how they process the image. And crucially, how they feel about themselves. It builds resilience against those damaging comparisons.
Yeah, okay, I see. So teaching media literacy isn't just about, being a smarter consumer of content.
No, it's more fundamental. It's about teaching them to question it, actively question it.
It sounds like a foundational skill.
Right.
For everything.
It really is. For navigating the modern world, it goes way beyond the screen into school, friendships, how they understand global events. The key insight here, I think, is we're not teaching them what to think. We're teaching them how to think critically, especially in this environment, saturated with, manufactured stuff.
Yeah, that critical questioning really does become a kind of superpower. But look, this can't be a one-size-fits-all approach, can it? You wouldn't talk to a 5-year-old about deepfakes the same way you talk to a teen.
No, absolutely not. That's a really important question. And our sources, thankfully, give us a pretty clear roadmap. It's all about age-appropriate engagement. You have to meet them where they are developmentally.
So where do we start? Preschoolers, early years?
Or for the little ones, preschoolers, early years. You start with simple foundational concepts. But the key is making it kind of a game of curiosity. So it's not just flatly stating cartoons aren't real. It's more playful. Look, a talking bear. Do bears really talk like that in the woods? And no, that's pretend for the show. You make that distinction playful.
I get it. Building discernment through play.
Exactly. And same with ads. When one pops up, gently point out, oh, look, ads want you to buy things. They want your money. Simple.
Gentle introductions. Nothing scary.
Right. Just planting those first seeds, helping them notice the difference between imagination, ads, and reality.
So you're not diving into, conspiracy theories with a 4-year-old?
Definitely not. It's about the method. Teaching through curiosity, not just stating facts.
Okay, then primary school kids, middle grades.
Right. As they get a bit older, primary school age, you can start introducing more direct critical thinking. This is where you encourage them to ask those key questions. Who made this? And why did they make it?
Can you give an example?
Sure. Say they're watching a toy commercial. You can ask, okay, who made this ad?
The toy company.
Right. And why did they make it?
To make me want the toy.
Bingo. See? It starts building that understanding of intent and source. Recognizing content comes from somewhere, and it has a purpose.
So moving from just watching to actively asking questions.
Exactly. Connecting the dots between the creator and their motivation. Active inquiry.
I can see how that builds.
Yeah.
And then teenagers, I imagine the conversations get a lot more complex then. They're seeing so much more.
Oh, absolutely. That's when you can and really should tackle the more complex stuff. Things like the influence of social media figures, influencers. Unpacking how sponsored content works.
Right, where it looks like a normal post, but it's actually an ad.
Precisely. And discussing how online personas are often crafted, It's not always the full reality.
That's a big one.
Then there's understanding bias in reporting, how information can be slanted, sometimes subtly, to influence opinion. Identifying fake news, outright false information presented as fact. And critically, learning to spot content generated by AI, which is getting slipperier all the time.
They need those skills. They're encountering it daily.
They really are. And they have the cognitive ability to grapple with these nuances.
That sounds like a heavy lift, though, covering all that. But I remember the sources had a great tip. Make it a game.
Yes, that's a fantastic approach. Turn it into a game. Asking kids to be content detectives.
That sounds fun. How does that work? Like, practically?
Well, it's about making it interactive.
Yeah.
So you could show them 2 different news headlines about some silly made-up event. One is clearly exaggerated or wrong.
And they have to find the fake one.
Yeah. Or show them 2 images, one real, one AI generated, and challenge them to spot the differences. Then you explain why one looks more synthetic.
So they're finding the answers themselves.
Exactly. Builds their observation skills, their critical assessment skills, but playfully, it empowers them.
Okay, beyond the age-specific stuff, what about daily routines? Habits parents can build into everyday life.
Great question. There are definitely practical routines. One of the most powerful tools the sources suggest is the 3 questions rule. It's simple, but it's profound. And kids of various ages can learn to use it almost automatically. The trick is guiding them to find the answers, not just ask.
So what are the 3 questions?
First, who made this? Second, why did they make it? And third, can I trust it?
Walk me through that with an example.
Okay, say they see an ad for a super sugary cereal with a cartoon character. Question 1, who made this?
The cereal company.
Right, not say a doctor or nutritionist. Question 2, why did they make it?
To sell cereal. Get kids to ask for it.
Exactly. Not necessarily for health reasons. Question 3, can I trust it?
Well, they'll show the fun parts, not the sugar crash.
Precisely. So you guide them to connect those dots actively. It becomes a mental checklist for pretty much any content, YouTube, news, anything.
That's incredibly clear. Very actionable. Gives them a process, not just a warning.
Exactly.
What other habits can we build at home?
Another excellent one is co-viewing. Don't just let kids watch stuff alone all the time.
Watch with them.
Yeah, watch together and actively talk about what you're seeing. Discuss the messages, the visuals, the intentions behind it. Like if you're watching a show or even a commercial, ask things like, what are they trying to make us feel right now? Or what are they selling? How do they make it look so good?
Make it interactive.
And the sources also recommend critical thinking games. We mentioned the spot, the fake idea. You could also compare how 2 different news sites report the same event. See the differences in focus or tone.
Keeps it engaging, not like homework.
Right, an ongoing experience.
Okay, let's tackle the elephant in the room. AI awareness. Deepfakes. They can sound really unsettling.
They can.
How do we explain that without just scaring them? Especially younger kids. And are there clues, like tells, we can teach them?
Good points. The sources are wise here. Explain it age appropriately.
Yeah.
Always, the absolute key is showing safe examples.
Safe examples.
Yeah, so they grasp the concept without being freaked out. Maybe show a harmless, funny face swap app or a simple AI-generated image of, a cat wearing a hat. Something clearly not real or threatening. Explain that clever computer programs can make images or sounds that look and sound real but aren't.
Okay. And the tells. How do you spot a fake?
Right. It's usually not about finding one single wrong pixel. Often, AI creates things that are too perfect.
Too perfect.
Yeah, like faces that are overly symmetrical or lack natural little flaws. Maybe the eyes or teeth look a bit too uniform, or the lighting on a person doesn't quite match the background lighting.
Subtle things.
Very subtle, almost imperceptible inconsistencies that AI still struggles with. For AI voices, maybe listen for a lack of natural emotion or inflection, or weirdly perfect pronunciation that sounds robotic.
So trust your gut if something feels off.
Exactly. Teach kids to trust that feeling if something seems a little weird, even if they can't pinpoint why. And then use the 3 questions to investigate further.
Demystify, don't demonize.
Precisely. Build understanding and awareness, not fear.
This all really points to a huge role for parents, doesn't it? It's not just about teaching rules. It feels deeper.
It absolutely is. And maybe the most fundamental piece of advice from the sources is to model the behavior you want to see.
Walk the talk.
Basically, yeah. As a parent, you need to consciously avoid sharing unverified stuff yourself. Think about it if you're always forwarding chain messages or posting clickbait headlines without checking.
Kids see that. They absorb it as normal.
Exactly. Your digital habits are incredibly influential. But if you openly question things yourself, if you say out loud, I wonder if that's actually true. Let me check another source.
That's like a living lesson right there.
It is.
So it's about living by the rules, demonstrating critical thinking. The sources also mention parental controls, but they stress coupling controls with open conversations, not just banning things.
Yes, that balance is crucial. Parental controls are a tool. They can be effective for setting boundaries, filtering inappropriate stuff, especially for younger kids.
But they aren't foolproof.
No, and open communication is the real foundation. If kids feel they can actually come to you when they see something confusing or upsetting online, a deep fake, misinformation, something that just made them feel bad.
That's more powerful than any filter.
Way more powerful. It creates that safe space for them to process tricky stuff with your guidance. Controls manage access. Conversation builds discernment.
That makes total sense. Building trust, equipping them for things filters can't catch.
Exactly. And one final habit, encourage them to pause and reflect before sharing anything online.
Just take a beat.
Yeah, just a moment to think, where did this come from? Why was it made? What happens if I share it? That simple pause prevents a lot of junk from spreading.
And it fosters responsibility.
Yes, a sense of responsibility for their own digital footprint, their role in the whole information ecosystem. It shifts them from passive receivers to active, responsible participants.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway? Media literacy isn't about blocking the world out.
Not at all.
It's about something much more powerful, isn't it? Empowering kids to think for themselves, to question, to navigate this digital world safely, wisely.
It's about teaching them fluency in the language of the digital age, not just being bystanders.
Yeah.
And honestly, in this age of AI, that ability to critically analyze, to understand the world around them, that's the real superpower.
It's a skill for life.
Absolutely. It equips them to make informed decisions, resist manipulation, contribute thoughtfully. It helps them build a strong internal compass when the external signals can be so deliberately misleading.
Okay, so as you, our listener, reflect on our deep dive today, here's something to think about. How can we truly cultivate a generation that doesn't just passively consume, but actively understands, questions, and engages thoughtfully with this incredibly complex digital world? What new insights might you bring to that conversation? And maybe how could you start integrating some of these content detective skills into your own family's routine starting today?